Welcome back everybody to another Warpath video. Today's video we're going to go over bunkers and ravens, some of the key strategies of utilizing the hex grid system and how to utilize best your troops and the layouts for attacking bunkers even in groups. Stay tuned guys. Welcome back everybody to the channel. Before everybody asks, what in the heck is that behind me right there? Looks like some weird drawing. Just stay tuned for a little bit, guys. And if you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I know a bunch of you guys watching aren't subscribed. Help me out, help the channel out, and we're going to continue to grow together. So behind me right here, the map that you're seeing, this is a bunker and this is a raven. And you might be thinking, what is all of this stuff going on? Well, here's the thing. We need to know how to kill the ravens the best. We need to know how to utilize the best format when we attack bunkers, not only by yourself, but also together. And so let's go over the bottom one right here. And let's put our pin out. Right here is a raven, level 25. Now, whenever you click on this raven will show you what the unit type is in a box. It will show you the rewards, and in the corner it will show you a symbol that will show you what it is, whether it's a tank hunter, whether or not it's a heavy, an infantry, so forth and so on. And why that's so important is you want to be able to use the counter to that troop type. So if it's a heavy, you want to use a tank hunter. If it's an infantry, you want to make sure that somewhere in the lineup you have bunkers, so forth and so on. Most of you guys know what units counter what units. If you don't, you can always go to Warpath Wiki. It will show which ones counter what underneath the troop tab. But that's not the point of this video. The best setup that we have found is that it's a grid system. So because of the hex grid system that's going on, that's why you're seeing the count. So we have first grid, second grid, third grid, fourth grid, and fifth grid. The reason this is important is because most of your infantry is going to be within your first grid right here. That's exactly where it's going to be. Also, your heavy or your super heavy is going to be within the first two grids, but most of the time people put it up. Whatever is your most spongiest unit, meaning the one that absorbs the most damage, that lasts the longest, you want it to be in the number one slot. Let's try to erase this. Okay, so let me change this up a little bit. So number one right here, we know that we're going to put in the spongiest unit that we have. What's going to be number 2, 3, 4, and 5? Well, number 2 necessarily doesn't have to sit inside of this spot right here. Number 2 could be the tile that's right here or over here. If you wanted to do a surrounding function, maybe your number 2 could come over here. But the point is that it stays without. So here, as you can see, that's the first. The second grid is going to go out here. The third grid is going to go out here. And you want to line up those units. Well, the third and the fourth grid is going to be your backline, like your artillery. So let's say that you do a super heavy on your first one. On your second one right here, let me go ahead and erase this so it doesn't get too crowded. The second one right here, you have a tank hunter or you have a medium right here, because as it attacks, it can shoot. So you could set these up over here, but most people, they choose right here, they choose here, and then they put an artillery units back here with maybe even a heavy artillery such as a like a tank gun or anti-artillery, stuff like that. Like those are going to be 5 grids out. Your rockets and some of the howitzers and stuff like that are going to be within the 3 to 4 range right here. And that is going to fire off as this unit is attacking your sponge right here. It's going to fire off from the background and it's going to, kill that rather quickly, and then your troop can heal in the front. These guys right here, because they're 2 grids out, they're going to fire on the unit as well, but they're not going to be touched because all of the Raven is going to be hitting the very first unit. I hope that makes sense, guys. Don't want to go into it too much more, but that's exactly what happens. Now, here's the key. I put this over here because Shevchenko, however you say her name, her skill, if it is maxed, this is the key right here. If it is maxed, then this is up. That means you have to have level 4, 4, 4, and 4. If it is maxed, it has a specific function where it says that the artillery trajectory +1 on the map grid. Now, why is that so important? Most people might be like, what? Who cares about that? Well, it should matter because bunkers, as well as ravens, as well as your base even, only fires out so far. It won't fire out or attack something so many grids out. And so if you're at grid 5, which is pretty much the max to it, and before the update, you know, all of the ravens in the bunkers, they only went to 4. So if you were at the 5th tile, you weren't getting attacked. Now they updated it to where the 5th tile, you would get attacked. Well, if you have this +1, then that means you can sit your heavy artillery in the 6th slot right here so that it can't get attacked, because once again, the Raven bunkers or the Ravens themselves or your unit is only attacking 5 grids out. So that's why that is super important. However, you know, it's going to be quite a bit of sculptures to be able to max her out, but yes, her skill is very necessary right there. So above me, this is the bunkers, okay? Now the reason the bunkers are so important is because the bunkers are not like the Raven troops, meaning it's just a single troop. The bunkers, once you attack them, they spit out troops, meaning they spit out infantry, tanks, hunters, artilleries, different things like that. Like they literally have units that come out of them progressively over time while you're attacking the bunker. And so when people set up, most of the time they just crowd the bunker crazily, and that's not actually the best setup. So right here, what you're seeing in the red right here, this is an area that we don't want to put any troops in at all. And why don't we want to do that? And we don't want to put the troops in the number 1 slot. The reason being is because whenever you're attacking this bunker and the troops come out, the troops are going to come out into these areas because they're not populated. If those areas are populated, meaning there's troops all throughout here, they will spawn behind you where you have your artillery or your heavy attacking units. They're going to spawn behind you and they're going to attack it. And then your weak troops that are super powerful, but they're weak, are going to take a heavy hit. And so the base itself that's hitting your front line that's sponging, it's not going to matter because now all your troops are dead and they're weak, and that's not good. So let's go over this concept once again. I'm going to say it again just so you know. The red right here, right? This red, keep it open. Don't keep troops inside of it. Also, around the bunker itself, don't keep troops. Okay? Now, what are these grids right here? We have the number 2, 3, and 4. Those are the grids, the same way this was. These are the grids that go around it. You want whoever's in your group that's killing them, or maybe you're killing them by yourself, you know, and so you're not taking up this whole entire space, but maybe there's 2 or 3 of them, of you guys doing it. The number 2 slot right here is going to be your super heavy or your infantry, whatever sponges the best, okay? And then behind it, right here, you're going to use a lot of your artillery, your power units, right? Back here. These are where you're going to want it. Why? Because they're not going to get touched and they're constantly going to be firing on the bunker to bring it down, okay? Now, on some of these, like maybe let's say you have a heavy right, let me erase this. Let's say that you have a heavy right here and you have another medium right here and then you have your artillery here. You could even put a light back here or a medium back here. Why? Because if it spawns and it comes right here, remember where your unit at, either in the 4th or 5th slot, it's going to attack 2 tiles forward, meaning it's going to be in the grid of 2 tiles. So if the units come here, then your units are going to attack that unit back here while your artillery is still pounding on the base, and while your heavy or your sponge and infantry is still absorbing the damage so that it kills every single one of them. That's the concept. So once again, I'm going to go over it again. We want to leave all these spots blank, and we want to put our heaviest units in the front, and we want to work our way back with some of our artillery, and also utilizing maybe some mediums or some lights towards the backside to catch any units that pop out. Okay, now that is the concept, that is the picture that I have right here. However, let's go and let's see some action that's actually taking place. All right, so let's go get some of the footage that I recorded out, and let's watch this. So as you can see right here, I have my heavy. All right, have another heavy, I have a tank hunter, a medium, and a rocket. Now, why did I do it like this? Because I showed you like the front line right here. I have my medium towards the back, and I have, this is just one setup. This is just me randomly doing it, right? Seeing what happens. And then way back here, I have my artillery. Now, what do you see wrong with this? First off, the artillery is 5 out because it's barely going to the bunker itself. So it's not going to actually attack the bunker. That's a problem, right? And I did this on purpose so that you guys could see the difference in what the end result is. So let's watch the footage. So I click attack, and it's going to initiate the attack. Now what's going to happen is these two engage. So notice that the line right here, notice how it said, okay, I'm going to attack. I have the lines on there, but what happened to my medium in the middle? What happened to my rockets in the back? They're not within that grid, so they're not attacking, which is completely pointless, right? That's not what you want. You want it to attack the base. So now the infantry come out, right? And this is going to trigger some of my other troops to attack these. So now look, my bunkers, boom, these guys came out. So what did you see? You saw that around the perimeter, all of the units that were coming out of the bunker literally came out right here, right? And when they did, that made the rockets that are 4 grid lines out, start attacking them instead of the bunker because, and I didn't even have to click anything, it just did it. Okay, that because of 4 grids out, it started attacking those automatically and taking them out. So that's the key. Even my medium started taking them out. So then these guys, they drive over here, and the same thing's going to happen. It's going to target them. See, boom, boom. Because they went in between that radius, that happened. Now, because of this crappy setup that happened, though, in the beginning, I'm going to have to drag troops over to kill. Look at this. Look at this artillery that's steadily hitting. You know what I mean? Nothing was attacking it, so I literally had to drag it over to kill it. Okay? So that's one thing. Let's look at this one now. Okay? This one is more organized, right? So what I did was I have my rockets 4 out from it, so it's literally going to attack the base, the bunker, and it's going to have the heavies right here. Now I spread it out from there, my other units that are 2 grid tile units, so that when the units pop out of it, they're going to attack it. So let's watch. So here I'm going to attack. It's going to engage both those. But see, now when they pop out, look, my other one's engaged. So because they popped out, it automatically engaged to them within the 2 grid tile factor. Now look, boom, they popped out again. See, they're not popping out behind me, they popped out in front of me. And because they did that, my troops automatically, look at that. Do you guys see that? My troops automatically right here attack this one, automatically attack this one. So there's an automatic attacking. I don't even have to click it. It's just because they're in the red and they popped out, they're within 2 grid tiles, and they attack. So here we go. Once again, we're going to see the bunker goes down and all of the units destroyed. So did you see how much difference that one was? I literally lost a lot less. I did everything, attacked everything without me having to drag it, without me having to click attack or anything like that. All I had to do is set up my heavy, attack the base, all the rest of them fell in place. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the short video on some tips and tricks on the bunkers and some of the ravens and how to do them. If you would, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that like button, comment down below, and until next time, guys, peace.